Hey everybody, what is happening? Ish Daily Ish bringing you some more Madden 18 content, and today I'm going to give you a nice little blitz setup. Going to be run out of the 3-4 odd, which is one of the more popular systems this year to be in as far as base. Typically that or 3-4 even have really been what most of the blitzing setups have came out of. Out of this base, and we're going to be running. I'll try and get anything I can out of any of these. We ran Predator last year a little bit, but let's get into this one here. Like I say 3-4 odd in the Ravens playbook, but this is going to be in a lot of playbooks. And we're going to be looking at the Will Buck 3 press here. So as you see, there's what the base setup looks like. You can run this play flipped if you want. I'll give it to you the base setup here. Not going to be much different on that when you run it that way. Just for the sake of it here, we'll start off just nobody probably blocking, and then we'll get into some of the running backs blocking and stuff like that. But I've already shown a video of this working head to head. So just for that, take it for what it is. Most people, if they're going to show you strictly practice mode stuff, it's not going to work that way in the game. So you need to see it in both. So I wouldn't even mess with people's unless you see what they're doing in head to head with it. So here's again what we're looking at here: base setup, and the setup for this blitz is going to be to base a line, and then you're going to want to pinch your defensive line. You're going to want to slant them inside, and then I will QB contain and pinch my linebackers. And that doesn't matter if you want to pinch him in and then QB contain, and he snapped it anyway when I was on it. Got himself that egg. So sorry about that. I hiked it when I wasn't ready. Again here, base the line. We're going to pinch the defensive line. We're going to slant them inside. You can pinch the linebackers then, QB contain. There we go. So that's basically it. Now, if you're running against the computer or against a lot of times hard flats is what you're going to be looking at for the base setup. So if I know I'm playing like solos, I'm going to come down and I'm going to put hard flats on this right here. And so you'll see now what the weakness can be, is that brown right there hitting the seam. So if you're running a blitz here and you think that guy's going to attack that, by all means, you can then start playing the game of taking YY there and just manning him up on him. I'm not really going to cover how to do the hot reads. I would rather just tell you what to do. If you guys don't understand how to go to hot reads, look that up. Get into your tutorials in the games. Learn how to make the moves. So what you're doing on the outside on this blitz is going to be up to you. You'll start seeing like where Williams is, as people run those bench routes, they'll run like out of the split. And if they run that into the flats, he's going to get out there before your linebacker gets out there. The guy who's up on Gresham on the right-hand side. So in that case, what you can also do here, because you're normally going to be usering on this linebacker here, Mosley, you're going to come up, and I'm going to hover right next to the line when I'm using. And normally for that, I'll tell you, hold LT, hold up on the right stick also. Just because most people may not know. That way, when they hike it, you will be paused for that split second. You don't want to stay there very long. It's just enough to kind of get that guard's attention, and that should help. You're going to need in this position here, which is your linebacker 2. You need speed. The free Dayon Buchanan, I shouldn't say free, but the Dayon Buchanan team leaders. That one is excellent. But anybody who's got, in the 80 speed, you're going to want around here. Pursuit, agility. They say, for agility, you'll notice I believe somewhere around 90, somewhere say maybe even 95. I don't know if they have a higher tier, but it will affect jumping, and people may not understand what that was for, but if you watch when these linebackers come in on these looping blitzes, you've seen it. The running backs go to block, and your guy jumps over them. So you want high agility and speed in your blitzing linebackers this year for sure. You're going to have a lot higher chance of jumping over the running backs if you have high agility. Like I say, so this is set up. What you're doing out here is not exactly the most crucial as far as, you can mix it up. You can even move this guy down if you want to kind of come in, and then that way he might pick up Brown for a minute and then fall to the side. Just depending, if he's in that. You can also go, and what sometimes I'll do is I will just bring this guy out here. If the running back is on the right, for example, either way, you can move him out, and you can even set up right here and watch it, and then to kind of hover there in that spot. You're still going to get that pressure, the blitz coming in, the loop coming in. I don't know what the speed is on this guy right here, the number 2. Let's look at the depth chart. And your left end also is the other position you're going to want speed at, because especially in solos, you'll see yesterday they will, on occasion, he will come free. It's not as much in here because I think he has to get rubbed to stop if he gets rubbed on the way across, then that'll stop that nano detection, but other than that, it's going to come in because there's no nano detection in solos, so that's why the A gap from the left end will come in. Let's see, for speed here, not bad. He's not bad. So, but if you had somebody even faster, like this Bradley guy here, Bam Bradley, hopefully he'll do something. Look at that, 88 speed, 88 acceleration, pretty nice. That'll work. So we'll run this play on the here. Let them do this. We'll run this play on the left-hand side here, though, to see if I can get that to come in, and then I'll show you a bunch of clips showing necessarily how it comes in actually in the game and all that versus just this. I just wanted to give you a good setup and understanding on how to run this first. Okay, so basically the same setup you're going to see. It's just that I'm taking the user and I put him over the left tackle right here. And you see what happens is you get that A-gap screaming in. Again, it's that same base line, pinch defensive line, slant them inside, QB contain, pinch the linebackers. And as you see, and this is more, again, I use this more in solos, but just something to show you in there. And also, again, in head-to-head, it may or may not, but I don't know, you're kind of giving yourself a weakness. You see, they're just shooting right up the middle. Just the thing just screams crazy. I don't know if there's anything that's going to be too much faster in the game as far as, you're getting the nose tackle or that defensive end right there just shooting straight up the middle on you. Okay, so and this one here, this is a head-to-head. This is back to actual head-to-head competition. I wanted to show you again how I was talking about making that change, making that adjustment out there from your coverage, your 2 lights. I got that safety up top. So on this play here, I go and I run it straight, and you see the pressure coming in. We're hitting him. I did get beat on the slant, and that's just my fault, but I think that he noticed the left-hand side, so I make the same same setup, except for right here, I take Y, and I man him up. You see that quick little man up. I man him up on the slot receiver, and watch what happens right here. He throws that seam streak like I'm telling you, so I'm making that adjustment right there, pick 6. It's just, and that's the way the game is. That's what separates a lot of the players in here, is just being able to kind of anticipate what you think that the opponent's going to do. You can see a weakness in your defense. Think of how you would attack it, and then kind of apply your defensive strategy towards that. See again here coming out, and on 4th we got that A gap again. That's head-to-head competition. I showed that in the last game. A gap on the 5-man there. He had another guy coming off the outside. Look at that. So see how he just barely gets a side swipe there from the guard. The guard was moving over, so they get a little contact, and I don't know if that's what allowed him to come free like that without stopping him. On occasion, I've even had the linebacker, the middle linebacker, when they loop in, sometimes would even get caught in head-to-head if it's really, really fast. He hits that A. I see right here, we get the outside. So again, the same setup, and we get the outside linebacker coming in on that. And again, and that's head-to-head right here also. And you see, there we go, just coming straight out that B on the backside. And if he rolls out, we've got the QB contain. I've only got the 85 Reggie White. If you have somebody better over there, and look at that. And see that flipped right there? Coming in flipped, came in screaming. I made a bad play, but next play I run it again. I run that off that backside. I run that normal, and the pressure comes in so fast, he basically just gives me the pick there to JPP. So a lot of things pretty cool with this. You can't run it every down. Don't run it every down. It will get picked apart by a good player, but mix this in on good passing down, especially if you think they're running 5. But 6, it can run against 6 and still come in, so it's worth using. Thanks for checking this out, guys. Hope it works out for you. Peace.